Welcome, friend. I'm James, your host, and today we're diving into another captivating episode. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and get ready for a powerful story that's sure to resonate. If something hits home, share your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive in.
I got divorced while 5 months pregnant at 22. Here's how I reclaimed my life in LA. Hey Reddit, I, 24, wanted to share my tumultuous journey that started with a whirlwind romance, spiraled into heartbreak, and eventually led me to a life I could never have imagined. Buckle up, it's a roller coaster. It all began when I moved to Los Angeles at 20, chasing dreams and leaving behind a small town that felt stifling and predictable. The city was alive, pulsating with energy, and I felt an intoxicating blend of hope and anxiety as I navigated the sprawling streets filled with palm trees, vibrant neighborhoods, and an endless array of possibilities. From the moment I stepped foot in LA, the air was thick with potential, and I could feel it wrapping around me like a warm embrace. I'd seen the city in movies, filled with glamorous parties and sun-drenched beaches, but nothing could prepare me for the reality. A few swipes on Tinder later, I found John, 29M, a charming, seemingly perfect guy who captivated me with his charisma and ease. Our first date was nothing short of electric. Imagine the bustling energy of the LA nightlife, bright lights, and the promise of something thrilling. He was the exact opposite of my usual type, a bit older and more established, but there was an undeniable spark that drew me in. The conversation flowed easily. Our laughter echoed off the walls of the trendy bar we were in, and for the first time in a long time, I felt truly seen. It felt as if we were in our own little bubble, untouched by the world outside, and I remember thinking how fortunate I was to have found someone so captivating in this vast city. In a moment of youthful naivety, we moved in together after just 1 week, fueled by infatuation and a heady cocktail of emotions that seemed to blind us to any caution. A month later, he proposed, and I was swept away by the fantasy of marriage, family, and the life I thought we could build together. The promise of a shared future felt intoxicating, a dream I was eager to dive into. The ring sparkled on my finger, and I envisioned all the milestones we would achieve together. The house, the kids, the laughter filling the rooms. I was young and optimistic, convinced that love could conquer any obstacle. Our wedding day was a whirlwind of joy and excitement, and as I walked down the aisle in a beautiful white gown, I felt like I was floating. Friends and family surrounded us, and I could see the love in their eyes as they witnessed our vows. But fairy tales often hide dark secrets, and little did I know that mine was just beginning to unfold, lurking beneath the surface like a predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Fast forward 18 months, and just weeks before our wedding, we discovered I was pregnant. The news hit us like a tidal wave, washing over our fears of fertility issues we had battled for months. It was a miracle, a sign that everything was falling into place despite our struggles. Our wedding day in downtown LA was breathtaking. Friends and family gathered to celebrate our love amidst gorgeous decor and laughter echoing in the air, the sun shining brightly as if the universe itself was blessing our union. The venue was adorned with delicate flowers, twinkling lights, and a backdrop that seemed straight out of a fairy tale. As I walked down the aisle, my heart swelled with joy and hope for the future, each step echoing with dreams yet to be fulfilled. We exchanged vows, promising to support and cherish one another, and I truly believed we were embarking on the adventure of a lifetime together. In that moment, I thought I could conquer the world with him by my side. But like a thief in the night, the joy slipped away almost immediately after the honeymoon glow faded, revealing the stark reality of my new life. Almost immediately after our wedding bliss, John started to reveal his true self, shedding the mask he had worn so carefully. I was too engulfed in the happiness of impending motherhood to notice the subtle shifts in his demeanor. It began with him obsessively wanting to count our wedding cash gifts, 11,000 euros, an amount that could help secure our future. On our honeymoon morning, instead of savoring breakfast in bed, he was hunched over envelopes like a child with candy, greed flashing in his eyes as he meticulously tallied the money, his excitement overshadowing the love we had just vowed to cherish. It was cringeworthy to watch, and even though I tried to brush it off, a knot formed in my stomach, a sense of unease creeping into my thoughts. It felt wrong, like the first sign of a storm brewing on the horizon. But I dismissed my instincts as overreactions fueled by pregnancy hormones. As days turned into weeks, I noticed more unsettling behaviors. He became increasingly distracted, often staring at his phone, leaving the room when I entered, and my heart sank with each instance. I tried to shake off my insecurities, convincing myself that everything was fine, but the whispers of doubt began to creep into my mind, clouding my once bright vision of our future together. As my pregnancy progressed, I encountered complications, and bed rest became my new reality, leaving me feeling like a fragile bird trapped in a gilded cage. The world outside moved on without me, and I watched as my friends posted pictures of their adventures on social media, their laughter echoing through my empty home. I often felt a pang of jealousy mixed with loneliness as I scrolled through their happy moments, yearning for the days when I too was part of the fun. The isolation gnawed at me, a constant reminder of my circumstances, and I felt like a ghost drifting through my own life. John, once my partner in every adventure, began spending more time out with friends, and at first, I didn't mind. I felt guilty for wanting him to stay home, believing it was healthier for both of us. I told myself he deserved to unwind after work and that I should encourage his outings. But what began as a casual night out quickly morphed into a spiral of reckless behavior. Those once innocent beer nights turned into raucous clubbing until dawn, leaving me home alone in the dark, anxiety clawing at my chest as I struggled to find purpose in my new reality. The nights dragged on, each moment filled with uncertainty and dread. I remember a particularly painful argument that still haunts me. I was crying, pleading with him to stay home for just one night, to watch a movie and hold me, my vulnerability laid bare before him. His cold response cut deeper than any wound. "You? Going out? Look at you. Who would even want you now?" I was 5 months pregnant, feeling the weight of the world and my body pressing down on me, and his words were daggers, leaving me shattered and questioning my worth. Weeks passed, and as I laid in bed, grappling with the reality of our crumbling relationship, I had a haunting instinct to check the box where we kept our wedding cash. My heart raced as I opened it, and the emptiness screamed at me like a siren wailing in the night. Panic gripped me like a vice, squeezing tighter as I struggled to breathe. I called John, frantic, demanding to know where the money had gone. His casual, indifferent response, "Oh, you know, here and there," ignited a fury I had never felt before, a volcanic eruption of emotions that had been bubbling beneath the surface. I could feel the betrayal boiling over inside me, a mixture of anger and heartbreak that left me reeling. But that was only the beginning. Just when I thought I had reached my breaking point, a mutual friend called me with gut-wrenching news. John had been cheating. Proof flooded in like a tidal wave, texts, pictures, the whole sordid story laid bare before me. My heart dropped. It was as if the earth had shifted beneath my feet, leaving me unsteady and vulnerable. Adrenaline surged through me, and tears streamed down my face, each drop a testament to the betrayal that cut deeper than any knife. The shock morphed into a rage I didn't know I was capable of, boiling over until I felt like I was going to explode. How could he do this to me? How could he betray our family, our future? In that moment of despair, I made the hardest call of my life. I contacted a lawyer and set up a meeting for the next day, trembling with determination and fear. The weight of the decision loomed over me, heavy and suffocating, as if I were carrying the world on my shoulders. When I confronted John, laying bare the evidence, he tried to plead, to manipulate me into staying, his words slithering around me like a snake. "Let's work it out," he said, but I had seen enough. "We're getting divorced," I told him coldly. "Be at this address tomorrow at this time." I hung up, blocking him as he stammered on the other end, the weight of my decision both liberating and terrifying. I spent that night in a haze, my mind racing with thoughts of what my life would look like after this monumental shift. The idea of starting over felt daunting yet exhilarating. I felt like a soldier preparing for battle, steeling myself for the fight ahead. But deep down, I also felt an undercurrent of hope that perhaps I could reclaim my life. The following weeks were a blur of agony. like living in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. I couldn't sleep. Nightmares clawed at my mind, and panic attacks became my uninvited companions, the shadows in my room morphing into monsters that threatened to swallow me whole. Each night, I lay awake, feeling the weight of uncertainty pressing down on me, my heart racing with thoughts of the future and the unknown. I resorted to pregnancy-safe sleeping pills, desperately trying to find solace amidst the chaos. Every time I closed my eyes, I was haunted by visions of betrayal and loss, each nightmare a reflection of the turmoil within me. I was terrified I would lose my baby. This little life that was supposed to bring joy was now a constant reminder of my shattered dreams, a flickering light in the darkness that threatened to extinguish at any moment. Yet somehow, I pushed through the darkness, clinging to the hope that my son would be my salvation. My son was born, a beautiful baby boy who entered this world without knowing the chaos that surrounded him. The moment I held him in my arms was surreal. The love I felt was both overwhelming and terrifying. I looked down at his tiny face, and for a brief moment, all my fears faded away. He was perfect, a beautiful blend of innocence and potential. Holding him was both a blessing and a challenge. The love I felt was immeasurable, but it was tinged with fear and uncertainty about the future. I often found myself staring into his little face, feeling a mix of love and resentment, wondering how someone could walk away from such an innocent being. John had missed everything: the first kicks, the late-night cravings, and the anticipation that filled the air. I was grateful for the bond I was forming with my son, yet the ache of John's absence lingered in the background, a constant reminder of what I had lost. It was for the best, I reassured myself, but the pain of that absence lingered like an unhealed wound, a scar that would take time to fade. As time passed, I slowly started to rebuild my life. It was a painful journey, filled with tears and anger, but I was determined to rise from the ashes of my past. The first few months were a blur of sleepless nights and endless diaper changes, each moment a new challenge. But with every coo and giggle from my son, I felt my strength growing. I threw myself into motherhood, navigating the sleepless nights and endless diaper changes with a fierce love, every smile from my baby a reminder of my resilience. I began to take long walks with him in his stroller, feeling the warmth of the California sun on my face, letting the fresh air fill my lungs. Each step felt like a small victory, a testament to my determination to move forward. I started going to the gym almost every day, transforming the pain of my past into strength. It became my sanctuary, a place where I could channel my anger, sadness, and frustration into something positive. I learned to lift weights, run on the treadmill, and sweat out the demons that haunted me. Each drop of sweat was a testament to my resilience, my determination to reclaim my life. I refused to let John's cruel words define me. I became stronger, more confident, and healthier than I had ever been. As I sculpted my body back to what I once knew, I felt empowered, fueled by the fire of self-love and determination. Then, love found me again. I met someone incredible, my current partner, who embraced my son as his own, providing the love and support I had desperately needed. He was everything I had hoped for, someone who showed me that love could be kind and nurturing. He would often take my son for walks while I prepared dinner, sharing the little moments that made a family feel whole. I could see the joy in my son's eyes whenever my partner was around, a clear indication that he felt safe and loved. Together, we built a beautiful family, filled with laughter and warmth, the kind of love I had once thought was only a fairy tale. Watching my son thrive in this loving environment filled my heart with joy I never thought possible, a stark contrast to the loneliness I had once felt. I found myself laughing more, cherishing the small moments, and feeling grateful for the life we were creating together. As for my ex-husband, the last I heard, he's floundering, no stable job, living with his mom. It's almost poetic justice, a reminder that the choices we make shape our futures in ways we can't always foresee. I often wonder how he's doing, if he reflects on his decisions with regret, or if he continues to live in denial. Part of me feels a sense of satisfaction knowing that he's facing the consequences of his actions, while another part wishes I could find closure. But I know I've moved on, and my focus is on building a happy, fulfilling life for my son and myself. I share this story not just to vent, but to reach out to anyone who feels trapped in a dark place. Life can turn upside down in an instant, but it can also surprise you in ways you never thought possible. If you're struggling, remember that you have the strength to rise above the pain. You are not defined by someone else's betrayal or hurtful words. Your worth is inherent, and you can reclaim your life, no matter how lost you feel. Surround yourself with those who uplift you. Find your passion, and never forget that even in the darkest of times, there is a light waiting to guide you home. So here's to new beginnings, to the power of resilience, and to the beautiful journey of motherhood. Thank you for reading, Reddit. I hope my journey resonates with someone out there and reminds you that you are not alone in your struggles. Life can be a beautiful tapestry, woven with both pain and joy, and it's up to us to make it our own.